Off the Hook, airing on offthehooksports.com, your home for real news, real opinions, and what really matters about Tennessee athletics. The Off the Hook podcast at offthehooksports.com or Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or wherever you go for your favorite podcasts. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn, iHeart. Like, share, follow, subscribe. Off the Hook with Dave Hooker starts now.
Oh, to heck with Twitter. Twitter may not work, but we do. I actually think that the Twitter is working again. Twitter with a major outage. Elon, what's going on? Actually, I think he's trying to back out. Welcome to the program as we stream live each and every morning at 9 o'clock. We love you listening. We love your comments, and maybe you'll be able to do so via Twitter. I think so. I think we're out on the Twitter, but it was down earlier this morning, so we've got
I think it's back.
all kinds of fun. Are we back? Okay, so we're back.
Right. It refreshes for me, so we'll see.
Right. So see, Amanda, even Elon Musk has his technical issues as we had yesterday that we won't reference. All right, please subscribe and like. We greatly appreciate it so we can bring you more content. We're going to have a big day on tap because we finally have Cooper Mays back from Africa via Amsterdam I think he was in Boston last night. So he was on a mission trip, and so he's finally going to join us for the Ball Report brought to you by City Heat and Air. And we also will have John Adams up on our YouTube and website, offthehooksports.com this afternoon, as John is, of course, brought to you by Files Automotive Group right there on Callahan and Big Orange, Philly. So we've got a big day on tap in terms of things to watch and good times, and SEC Media Days is just a couple of days away. And good morning, Amanda. How are you?
Scared? How are you?
Scared to talk. Yes, she sounds.
It actually works. Incredible.
Sounds and looks fantastic. Technical issues yesterday, but we're all good. Ethan, how are you this morning?
Doing great. I am now up from about 60% moved in to about 80% moved in. So.
Yes.
We're good.
I think across the board, we all are battling fatigue, but doing a great job at it. So I know that poor Amanda's husband, who's just the nicest guy in the world, got somehow routed through the Tri-Cities. I have traveled a lot. Okay, I have never I didn't know there was an airport in the Tri-Cities, and then he got routed through the Tri-Cities after circling Knox. It was a great story. We'll have to get him on, and we're going to get Marlon McKinney too, who does Vols stuff, a daily wrap up of everything Vols. This is how busy I've been with our new venture here, offthehooksports.com. I didn't realize that he was going actually to St. Andrews in the week of the Open. I thought he was just, some people just go to play it or go. It was like 2 days ago. I'm thinking, oh, wait. Marlon of Vol Stuff is there for the week of the Open, which starts today. So we'll have an update, a report as we go throughout the program, but it'll be somewhat dated if you're listening on the tape delay. So have you guys followed much of this live tour at all on the Saudi Arabia thing? I mean, it's not going to be the crux to what we talk about today, but it is pretty off-putting for me that my favorite golfer, Phil Mickelson of all time, he's not anymore. He's like he's right behind Lance Armstrong as my least favorite athlete. Well, third, OJ. But so he has made $200 million in 2 tournaments, and he's 20 over par in those 2 tournaments.
Yeah, it's that's one of those things where I feel like it's kind of karma. Like it comes back to bite you in the butt. Like you do something crappy, it'll come back to bite you. And I know he's making $200 million, but it's like the worst he's ever golfed. So there you are.
Yeah, and well, it's just sad. I mean, it really is. I mean, he had, I believe, a very serious gambling issue. So instead of being well off and riding off into the sunset, but good for Tiger for calling him out. I like that yesterday.
Yeah, Tiger was offered way more than that, and he said no.
What would Tiger Woods be worth right now? Not
billion.
not at 24 years old.
Doesn't matter.
But-
It's his brand.
Right. So Phil got 200. Early reports are 250, but 200. I think Tiger, even at his age and probably not winning another major, is at least 500 million, and I'm probably closer to Amanda's 1 billion.
Yeah.
I mean,
she was talking about she was talking about his brand earlier. I mean, as far as golf goes, as far as really any athletic anything goes, Tiger Woods is one of the most recognized names, I'd say, at least the United States, probably the world. So,
yeah,
I would certainly think so. I want to get to On or Off the Hook, and it's brought to you by Zool Beer Company. Great panoramic view downtown. You've got a brewery to call home right there on 5th Street, and the beer is absolutely fantastic. Amanda, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's really, really good. We have a new IPA coming out today. Everybody's excited about that. We're also going to be in Chicago at a beer festival this weekend. I'm not sure which one it is, but I know because I packed up the merch to go up there. So
do we need to go? Does anybody from Zool need us to go to Chicago? Because I have always wanted to go to, I believe it's Brian Urlacher's restaurant, where they have pork roast nachos.
Walter Payton.
Doesn't that sound awesome?
I think I've been to both of them. I've been to Walter Payton's. I want to think we went to Brian Urlacher's while we were there as well, but both of them were really cool.
Which one is it Ditka's that has like pork chop meat over nachos?
I was very young. I don't even remember. It might have been Ditka's, honestly, instead of Urlacher's. I'm sure we went to two of them while we were there. There's a whole bunch of them.
I guess it's not pork chop,
Chicago,
pork roast nachos, right? The stuff you
Mm.
put in. What is that, Amanda? You seem like a big cook.
I don't know how to take that. So thanks. You seem round. No, it's great. It is a pork roast is like I would say it's like a pot roast. One of those things you stick in there and you like.
So it's pot roast nachos, not pork chop nachos. That would sound weird.
Is it pot roast nachos?
I think it's pot. Let's get on the Google machine and we'll find out. Okay. So anyway, Zool Beer brings you not a pot roast nachos, but our headlines today. So Steve Spurrier has advocated that Clemson be a part of the SEC, that they leave the ACC. He said, quote, "When I coached at Duke, Clemson was actually like an SEC school in the ACC. That was before FSU, Syracuse, Virginia Tech joined the ACC. When you played Clemson, they looked like SEC guys." That's pretty strong. I think, Amanda, I know you don't want any more expansion, but if you had to take one team, forget about the duo to keep it even, but if you had to take one, what would be the one that you think is the most natural fit?
You got to take one?
Well, I mean, you can take two, but I know you don't like taking any, so.
I don't, but you have to take two. You can't just take one.
Okay, so what would be your two?
The most natural fit would come from two different conferences. I would take West Virginia and Virginia Tech. Those would be my two that I would take. I would think would be the most natural fit, the most like an SEC vibe.
I can roll with that. It's pretty good. I would go Clemson, Florida State personally. Ethan?
I'm right there with you. I would do Clemson, Florida. Virginia Tech is probably my second. I think they're very underrated as SEC schools, but Clemson, Florida State are a tad more regional. Like I would still call them SEC just because of the vibe to keep the regional thing of college football intact. So I would go Florida State and Clemson as well.
All right, so I want to get to a bit of a preview for SEC Media Days next week, which we're excited to broadcast live from. Brought to you in part by Vassy Lawn and Garden. Vassy Lawn and Garden in Cleveland, Tennessee. Man alive, it's worth the drive. Toro, count on it. They've got the mowers, edgers, trimmers that you need right there in Cleveland. So Hendon Hooker will be one of the players that will be in attendance. That was no surprise. I mean, we knew it was going to be Hendon Hooker and two other dudes. We didn't know completely who the two other dudes were going to be, but now we do. So, but Hendon Hooker, he will be in front of the media. I don't think that he's going to be at all nervous. I think he's had a season in the limelight. I think he'll do fine. I think he's a calm guy. I think he's well-spoken. That being said, if you could, I've got a thought for a poll question. Amanda and I just organically kicked it around yesterday. Ethan ultimately, though, is the poll master. He decides what the poll question is going to be.
Poll
Don't laugh.
master.
Yeah, sorry, poll question master. So Ethan will ultimately decide what the poll question is going to be. As one of us forgot to turn our cell phone off. But Ethan, you ultimately decide. So here's what I'm thinking: if you could ask Hendon Hooker any one question, and he had to answer it honestly, what would it be?
I like that. Are we just us three are going to pick them, or do like three and then another and let people sound off? Or?
I have one I feel very strongly about, and I have another that I feel somewhat strongly about. So my one that I definitely want on there, Amanda, and you and I talked about it, is how much have you made?
Yeah.
Since September of last year, how much has gone into the Hooker account? That's mine.
Maybe not the Hooker account, because that sounds a little bit.
Yeah. I'll just say, how much money have you made?
Okay, how much money have you made? That's fine. I can roll with that. I would. Okay, so how much money have you made? And then, to me, that's the ultimate question. I think there are times where you have such a good one that you just go other as the second option, and people can fill it in. So that's up to you guys. But the other that we could throw in there to be topical is, since September, how often have you been proud by a cougar?
Cougarized?
Yes. But not actually close the cougar deal, Amanda. We don't want to go that far.
I want to go that far. I would love to know that.
Okay. Have you been cougarized?
Have you pulled a Zach Wilson?
That's all I'm sorry, I'm not typing. Find a way to rephrase it, maybe.
Okay, let's go with the money.
You guys can take the poll if you want. I'm not typing it.
I'm good with how much money have you made, and other they can top below. Are you good with that? Or are you? Amanda's got the look. She seems as if she's pretty hardcore for the cougar aspect.
Right? Keep going.
I want to know. And it's just a question. Have you ever pulled a Zach Wilson? I think that's a good question to ask.
Okay. Have you ever had a chance to pull his? How many times have you had an opportunity to pull a Zach Wilson? Those that don't know, he's quarterback of the New York Jets who likes to have relations with his mom's friends.
I'll put it.
So by definition,
allegedly.
You like the allegedly word more than any lawyers I know, and I know a lot of lawyers.
That's because you have to watch out. Yes, I will allegedly all day long.
Allegedly. Yep. Okay. So, all right. So can we work that in there? Ethan, the poll question master?
Yeah.
Is there a way to work that in there?
Yeah.
He's regretfully working on it.
You have to.
I'm not really excited about it.
You have to.
There's going to be
questions.
There's going to be no Ethan retweet on this one. He's like, I don't want to be associated with this one.
It's funny that you say that, because I was thinking it.
Okay, so the three options are how much money have you pocketed? How many times have you been cougar proud?
No.
And
Cougar
No, I don't
Proud.
want to close the deal. I'm with Ethan on this one. I don't
That's
want to close the
fine,
deal.
but you can't say Cougar Proud. That seems awful. Just say, how many times have you had the chance to pull a Zach Wilson?
I like. Let's go Cougar
See,
Proud.
there's a 25 characters. So.
Yeah, let's go Cougar Proud. Okay. And I'm sure our friend Ben will be happy to know that our poll question, which has to deal with Hendon Hooker's innermost desires and thoughts and financial accounts, is brought to you by Craft Treats. Craft Treats has the chill pills, and they calm down Amanda's yappy dog, which I had an opportunity to meet yesterday. Your dog does not like me.
She doesn't like any men, and I don't know where she gets that from, but she likes David. She loves David.
That is Amanda's husband. So she likes him, but not me. So it's a lot of kids don't like me, and I think it's because of the deep voice. They're afraid of me. I had an opportunity to see Josh Ward's kids recently, and that was nice because he has a deep voice too. So his kids actually like me, and it was a rarity that his kids, which are, I think they're like 5, 3, and 2 months, actually like me. They're like,
wow,
I'm
that's
used
a
to
lot.
deep voices. Yeah, I mean.
Okay, I need. How much money have you made? So have you ever pulled a Zach Wilson? And what's the other one?
I don't even want to say pull the Zach Wilson. Have you been proud? Have you been proud by Zach Wilson? No. Have you been
You get 25 characters. It has to be very specific.
Can you fit proud? Cougar Proud like Zach Wilson ? Will that fit in there?
You don't know if he was Cougar Proud.
I'm sure. Yeah. How many times?
He could have Cub Proud in there. You don't know.
Okay, you guys continue working on Ethan. We'll figure it out.
What's the third one?
Brought to you by Craft Treats. Other. Those are the only two I really care about.
I want to say, who's your least favorite player on the team? Who's your least favorite player on the team? He has to answer. I think that would be funny.
That's pretty saucy. All right, I like that.
Saucy?
Yeah. Okay. That's a good one. What did you have, Amanda?
What's the most expensive thing you've ever bought?
See, this is so hard because I keep going back to 25. And, it's very difficult. But
Okay, how about just... You could do money made ? Cougar Proud ? Least favorite teammate ? Other. I think everybody understands. Let's find out. Let's see what
Zach Wilson ?
I actually would rather just do that. People would totally understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would rather just do it because I'm having trouble fitting anything in.
Okay.
I'm gonna
okay. Brought to you by our friend at Craft Treats. They got the chill pills, full spectrum CBD treats. They contain the minor cannabinoids that increase the benefits of CBD. Great for situational anxiety, whether that's storms, whether that's fireworks, or I know that's now.
Whatever Ethan's experiencing right now.
Yes.
Situational anxiety.
Whether it's poll question anxiety, whatever the case may be. So Ethan's going to go ahead and send that out. So also today on the program, I thought Connor O'Gara with Saturday Down South had a really interesting column, the most influential players, and it's kind of a series that Saturday Down South has been doing, the most influential players in the past 10 years. So I want to do that kind of from the Tennessee perspective, because I have some pretty strong thoughts on that, because if you look at the past 10 years, they haven't been that good. So who do you start saying is influential? And then I want to go down a couple of the schools that I believe Connor wrote about, in particular Alabama. I want to get Amanda's thoughts on that and some of the other most influential players of the past decade. Also, we'll have coordinators that have a lot of pressure on them, and there are quite a few. One in the SEC East, and it is not Josh Heupel, which is nice to not have a Tennessee coach on this type of list.
Sorry, did you say coordinators that are in the hot seat?
Yes.
I think you meant to say Alex coordinators and people like that.
Okay.
Well, no, there's no Tennessee. Yeah, there's no Tennessee coach on
That's,
there.
that's what
my
you
meaning.
meant. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and to me, Heupel's still the offensive coordinator. I mean, we can put whatever label we want to on it. But for instance, this list, and I'll just go ahead and give it away. The one from the SEC might surprise you because they just won the national title. It's Will Muschamp and Glenn Schumann at Georgia, because Dan Lanning left for Oregon. So that was one of the best defenses ever. So are they on the hot seat? Guys, with the defense they had last year and with the people they've lost, I mean, this defense could go from by far tops in the nation to 25, 30, maybe even 40 in the nation. That's a significant drop off. That makes things look bad. Now, smart fans that are out there and analysts like you guys know that they lost a ton to the NFL. But some Saturday alumni are just going to look at it. I don't know why you're smiling, Amanda, but some Saturday alumni are going to look at it and say, you just aren't any good anymore. You're still wearing the red.
Well, the reason why I'm smiling is because it was kind of punny what you just did. Like, intelligent fans would have been a better word because smart is their head coach. They were like smart fans. And I'm like,
See what I did there?
Yeah, see what you did there. I don't think you meant to do it, but you did it. That's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, good. Well, I didn't mean to do it, but I was trying to think of something around Kirby, but that's difficult. So where do we stand with the poll question? What are we going to? You're the poll question master.
It's up there. I already sent it. One sec.
What is it? What is it? I'm excited.
I said exactly what we tried to say. How much money have you made? Zach Wilson ? And least favorite player.
Okay. All right. Got it. All right. I'm excited. The College Football Hall of Fame followed me today. Does that mean they're going to be monitoring us next week? Amanda, is that what that means?
It's possible.
Let me see how many people the College Football Hall of Fame. Oh, they follow 7,800 people. We're not exactly an elite company.
Well,
7,800
but
people.
7,800 out of 7.5 billion. That's pretty good. If you cut it down like that.
Oh yeah. Okay, it's like the Norm Macdonald thing where he says Tiger Woods is actually the best husband ever, because if you look at the opportunities he had and he only took up about 50 of those opportunities, then statistically it's 0.00001 that he could have cheated on his wife, where instead he didn't. So that's a negligible number. So by your rationale, Tiger Woods is the best husband ever.
That doesn't make any sense. No, you cheat once, you cheat 500 times. It doesn't matter. As I told David, and his mom agreed with me. I said, yes, she did. She really did.
I know, but I don't know that I like where this is going altogether.
Why?
I'm scared. Go ahead.
Why are you scared? I said, if you decide that you like somebody else and you want to leave me, then you're just going to have to leave me and leave this earth at the same time.
Youch. Okay, so we'll get to the answers to the Twitter poll, and that's also on Facebook. And then your thoughts, if you want to get on board, as to on the digital, on the Facebook, Twitter, we're everywhere, and you can give us an idea of your best road venue, because this crazy list that I do want to get to only had, Ethan and I went over it yesterday, so I don't want to belabor it, but it only had 3 SEC schools in the top 25 college campuses. I just don't, and Kentucky was in there. I don't understand how that is really the case.
It was so bad.
It was
one of the worst lists I've ever seen, to be honest with you.
I would have to agree with that, and I'm not talking in hyperbole. That literally was one of the worst that I have ever seen. One of the worst lists that I've ever seen altogether. I don't think that, Ethan, I don't think that's exaggerated.
Not having Oxford in the top 25 in and of its own is ridiculous. That's just
right.
Stupid. I don't know. The rest of it was dumb too, but the Oxford one really rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah. I mean, not having Oxford in there, that's an insult to sundresses everywhere. I'll remind you that you need to go to Owl's Nest Barbecue. You ever been to Oxford, Amanda? Owl's Nest Barbecue is your home for the best barbecue supplies, whether you're talking about wood pellets or the pellets, or you're talking about wood chips, or you're talking about the sauce, or man, the rub. They've got the best rub there at Owl's Nest Barbecue, and you will love Owl's Nest Barbecue. It's really like a neat community that you can be a part of. So we're pleased to be a part of that as well. And then right next door is Steve Ray's Midnight Oil. They've been there for a number of years, and they do all the work on my cars. So if you are in the Ooltewah area, Steve Ray's Midnight Oil can take care of your car, and Owl's Nest Barbecue can take care of your barbecue needs. So coming up, a complete pit preview as Ethan Stone tackled that, and you can check it out on offthehooksports.com. And I also forgot to turn my phone off, but I didn't, because that is on my computer, and it somehow is wired through my phone. That makes no sense to me, but that's
as is mine. Mine is the same way.
Yes, but that's because I'm old. Mr. Biles, tell us about Big Orange Philly. We have a pit preview coming up next, back in 2 minutes.
Gary Viles here. I want to personally invite you to North Knoxville's newest sports bar and restaurant. It's Big Orange Phillies, located in Black Oak Center. And yes, folks, it's happening in Halls. Big Orange Phillies offers family-friendly environment with homemade meals and the best deli-style subs around. Billiards, darts, jukebox, shuffleboard, and cornhole, and a full bar. We also offer valet parking on weekends and during special events. We even have a covered back patio. It's happening at Big Orange Phillies. We want, we need, and we appreciate your business.
Hi, Mike Davis here with City Heating and Air, reminding you to always dare to compare. Our team provides quality local heating and air service, installation, and maintenance across East Tennessee. We use only the best equipment like American Standard heating and air conditioning for your residential, new construction, or commercial needs. Honesty, dependability, and customer satisfaction have been the cornerstones of our business since 1961. City Heat and Air.
Dare to compare.
This is Owl's Nest Barbecue Supply, so come on in and see all the different rubs and sauces we have, plus a complete line of Green Mountain grills. Don't be overwhelmed. We have plenty of help so you can produce the best barbecue and amaze your family and friends. Barbecue is America's food, and we'll do what we can to bring you all the best products. We're Owl's Nest Barbecue, where Chattanooga goes to grill.
Do you want to own the more that owns every job? Then get to Vassey Lawn and Garden in Cleveland and get you a Toro. I'm David Vassey, here to talk to you about Toro. With a Toro Zero Turn, you'll get more out of every minute and you'll reach the finish line faster. At Vassey's, we like to say, no matter if you're mowing 3 acres a week or 11 lawns a day, homeowners and business owners alike find confidence in equipment they can trust from top to bottom.
Vassey Lawn and Garden, Highway 60 North in Cleveland.
Man alive, it's worth the drive.
Please like and subscribe, and we'll be able to bring you more content about the Vols, the SEC, and more. Also excited to expand a little bit in the SEC, and you can check out In the Huddle with Dave and Amanda as we break down the top quarterbacks in the SEC. And I don't think Hendon Hooker gets enough respect. Hooker and the Vols will play Pitt in a revenge game. I love the way Ethan set it up. I thought it was really strong because the ultimate revenge game from last year is no question Ole Miss. Okay, I mean that's the one that went awry, but the Pitt game has to rank right up there. Ethan, take it away.
Yeah, I would say Pitt is the second most Tennessee fans would want back if they could have it back and say, I'd like to play the second quarter or the entire game over again. I think we could probably beat those guys coming from a Vols fan's mouth. Ole Miss is number one. I actually watched it yesterday because I had to kind of relive the experience. Great football game, may I add. If Tennessee had won, it would have been a timer, I think, for Vols fans. It was a fantastic football. Even when Tennessee lost, I think it was one of the obviously, Tennessee fans can believe what they want to believe about, the refs and all that fun stuff, but ultimately penalties were too much of a problem, I think, in that game. So take it or leave it. The Pitt game was also insanely. I feel like the main thing that I was about to say, I feel like the main thing.
Go ahead.
I think the main thing that people would want back is that first half. Like they want Hendon Hooker to be in the first half and get his run and really be able to take command of the game like he did in the second half in the first half, obviously because Heupel put in Joe Milton at first, obviously carrying over from the Bowling Green game. And Milton just did not do that well against Pitt. And Pitt, their offense, obviously one of the better in the country. They're going to be losing a lot this next season, but still a lot of core guy offensive line, the running back completely. So I think it'll be a different game this year. I don't think it'll be as much of a barn burner, but it should still be competitive. And Pitt is a team that's probably going to win 9 or 10 games this season, even without Jordan Addison, who's the Biletnikoff winner last season, and then Kenny Pickett, who was a Heisman candidate. Even without those guys, they're going to be a really solid football program. And Tennessee,
I think we're working on Ethan there. Okay, Amanda, going.
This is the
yeah. Yours is great, and his is struggling. All right, so Amanda, I think the one thing that stands out to me is the difference between the Pitt game last year and the Pitt game this year is, and Tennessee's approach to the entire season is, you know who your quarterback is going to be when that was in question. And Amanda, when I look at the approach to a preseason camp, I mean, think about it. How many more snaps can you give to one dude? Look at Alabama last year, Bryce Young. They knew he was going to be the guy. So do you think he ever lacked for first team snaps in practice? Absolutely not. I mean, he knew that he was getting probably 80% of them, and it made him that much better. So, Amanda, I think that I think Tennessee automatically is going to be better off against Pitt or anybody else, just knowing. It seems like Tennessee has always had a quarterback question heading into the season, whether it's Casey Clausen battling Brent Schaefer, I'll mix them together. Eric Ainge battling Brent Schaefer, whether it's Casey Clausen battling the kid out of Arizona. I could go on. It just seems like they always have a quarterback competition. There's no quarterback competition this year, which is nice for Tennessee fans.
Yeah, I think there's always been some kind of confidence issue there, where if you start the season off and you have two quarterbacks dueling it out, like no one's made the complete, okay, this is our starter, this is our go-to guy, you're going to have a confidence issue there. Always. There's going to be a problem with either one of those guys. But if you start off the season, this is our guy, there's no, backup way beyond if he gets hurt, then I think you're going in much better because that's your number one. He's taking all the reps with the number one team. So you really get a flow. You get a flow going where you can see each other's little quirks and, it's just for example, but like if you watch a guy run and he's running a slant route, he'll do a little stutter step and he's going left. Like you see it. I think all of that's very important when it comes to running an offense.
Well, and the quarterback position too is so important from a team chemistry standpoint. I go back to 2005 where you had, and I've had several players tell me, they told me at the time, but it was off the record. Several players tell me they believe they had everything in place. They just wanted Rick Clausen. They didn't want to make the transition to Eric Ainge because he knew that he would have to grow into that role as a starting quarterback. Whereas Rick Clausen, kind of like the Trent Dilfer thing, very similar actually. They both lost their hair, but so they kind of look alike too. If you think about it, Trent Dilfer and Rick Clausen, a little bit. But anyway, the point is they wanted a game manager that would hand them the ball, a lot of the skill position players. And there's a strong argument to be made for that would have been the right way to handle that season. Clausen came back in Baton Rouge and helped them in the win in 2005. I mean, you could definitely make a strong argument that they should have just gone the Clausen route.
Well, back then, the game has changed so much from then. Back then, the SEC was ground and pound for the most part. You did have Peyton in 98, but in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, it was a lot of ground and pound. There wasn't a lot of strong quarterback play, and that's the way you got it done. It was mainly defensive work, I feel like, got the job done back then. And now we have these different offenses, these quick, fast-paced, bombs down the field. I mean, it's crazy the difference. And I feel like now more than ever, you need to know who the guy is going forward. Everyone needs to have confidence in him. He needs to have confidence in himself. There shouldn't be a question. You should know who you're starting out with.
Totally agree. Completely agree. You should have that idea. I think Tennessee in the 2005 season was the worst case scenario because they went back and forth. And listen, let's be honest. I think that when you look at Philip Vollmer, he was a guy that he liked to he liked the talented players. And when you're comparing just on talent between Eric Ainge and Rick Clausen, there is no comparison. So, I mean, Ethan, I think it makes sense to go with the more talented player. I probably would have just gone all in on Eric Ainge that year. I probably would have sided with Fulmer on that. But the bigger issue, whether or not the quarterback decision was right, is you can split a locker room really, really quick if you go back and forth on quarterbacks. And that's what Tennessee does not have to worry about this year.
And that's was the entire problem, I feel like, with the Derek Garantano years, is the locker room did not like that. It kind of, with this Eric Ainge thing that you're talking about. Looking back at that quarterback room, I feel like there weren't any that were insanely better than Garantano. And I know I'm talking about Garantano and not Eric Ainge at the moment. But I would definitely go with the more talented quarterback because of that reason. Because guys saw Garantano and they said, hey, this dude can't lead the offense. We got Harrison Bailey, who's a freshman right now, that he may be great at the game. He could be. This team is definitely going to be games this season. Why not just build him for the future, and we can kind of rally behind him? Garantano's going to be out soon. Why keep going with it, I feel like? So you always go, I feel like, with the guy that has maybe more upside, I feel like. And I feel like Harrison Bailey was Garantano in that year anyway. So I would usually go with the guy that's better, because it's a guy that people can rally behind, because ultimately that should be what your quarterback is a guy that can lead the offense. And if you don't have people behind you, if you don't have your entire team behind you, what's the point?
Yeah, I was reading an analytics thing, and Amanda, I have no earthly idea if this is correct, but it does speak to the importance of protecting the football as a quarterback. So along what Ethan's saying, you can take the more talented quarterback. I can go at practice and tell you the more talented quarterback, but it's how often they turn the ball over. So I saw some metrics, some analytic, that basically an interception inside of your own 50, given the fact that you give up the ball and you lose some field position, can be worth like 8.5 points, an interception on your own side on average. I don't know how they came up with that metric, but the bottom line is you have to protect the football. So you can go more talented all day long, but if he's throwing interceptions, that's not helping anybody.
I agree. Interceptions, I mean, they'll literally kill you in games. I don't know if I agree with that metric, though, because I feel like a lot of interceptions that are thrown inside your own 50, a lot of them come at the end of games where you're just trying to get that touchdown to either go ahead or tie. And a lot of times when that happens, you'll have the defense run the ball back completely and score. So I think it's situational, definitely. I don't think those should count towards that metric. And I think if they did, if they didn't count, then it would change it a lot.
Strange enough, our buddy Josh Ward, that you can hear the Vol Report with Josh Ward, brought to you by Zulbeer, posted earlier today. The Vols will play football 7 weeks from today. Who wore the number 7? Casey Clausen. It all comes back to the Clausens. Only one person has declined to answer a question for me in a press conference setting. Does anybody care to guess who that was?
Casey Clausen.
It wasn't. Casey loves me. No, it was Rick. But anyway, so yeah, it was definitely Rick. And it's Dad. So, but yeah, Casey's great. So remember we had Greg Biggins on recently. So I said, how's the Iceman doing? And that was Casey Clausen's nickname while he was at Tennessee. But he used to hate it because he's like, I've never had that nickname. That's only my nickname in Knoxville and Tennessee. And it was because the Top Gun movie, because he looked like Val Kilmer and he was Iceman. And I asked Greg Biggins, do they call him Iceman out there? He goes, nah, man, there's no hair gel anymore. So he ain't got nothing upstairs anymore. But he did text him. He said, how's it going, Iceman? So maybe we'll text Greg Biggins, 24/7 recruiting analyst, to see if that nickname didn't make it 3 time zones away.
Oh,
Did you like Casey Clausen growing up, Ethan? A lot of fans, older fans, I think primarily, were they thought he was aloof. I don't think he was aloof. I thought he had ice water running through his veins. I don't think he got hyped over anything.
See, when I was younger, the guys I remember are the guys that I liked because I didn't really start getting into football until I was about 11 or 12. Not really. I was more of a basketball guy. Above were the guys that I was like, hey, you got to be pretty good at this. Casey Clausen was one of them. Eric Ainge was one of them. Monterio Hardesty was one of them. There's just not much more.
Love Monterio.
Yeah.
Monterio, great guy. Totally. You talk about the guys that gave up their future financial interest and body for Tennessee football. He's one of them. I hated asking him every single week, how's your knee? Because it was the same, but you had to ask because he had 2 bad knees and everybody knew it. But he was a very, when you go back over Tennessee football history, I would argue Monterio Hardesty at his position is one of the most underrated players of the past 25, 35 years, because we want to talk about Reggie Cobb and all those other guys.
he was very nice.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. He's a good runner, though.
Met him, and he was very nice.
Yeah, poor guy. Him and Eric Berry had to face the same questions all the time because Eric Berry didn't have a quarterback to field answers. So he had to answer the why are you guys so bad question. And Monterio Hardesty had to answer the why is your knee always hurt question. And you have to ask it, but it's
not like they're going to tell you the truth. Like, how's your knee? Oh, it sucks. Trust me.
I know. That is the
I'm 15.
Yeah, I'm 15%. I'm about 16.8%. No, I mean, that is the irony of the whole situation. There is no irony in the savings of the mattress place. 30 to 70% off at the mattress place there on Chapman Highway. The mattress place will take care of you. Look at their reviews. How about A+ accredited? They're a member of the Better Business Bureau. Over 225 5-star reviews on Google. That's how awesome they are. They've got next day delivery and financing that is available. No gimmicks, just 30 to 70% off every day. So, yeah, I do want to further take a look at Pitt. I also want to take a look at Tennessee's upcoming season. I do find it interesting that Casey Clausen was one of your favorite players, Ethan, because you're, like I said, a younger guy.
I wouldn't say one of my favorites. He was one of the guys that I really recognized and not necessarily looked up to, but I was like, hey, that guy's pretty cool. Because I was just young. I was like, hey, that guy's pretty cool. Eric Berry was another one that you brought up. It's like, hey, those are the guys that I remember. I'm watching more closely when the games are happening.
What about you, Amanda? You're the middle set, so to speak. I'm the old guy. Ethan's a super young guy. You're the middle set. You're 26 years old. So, did you like Casey Clausen and his aloof / confidence / whatever you want to call it / I liked it?
I mean, obviously I didn't like it. I'm not a Tennessee fan, but I also remember thinking, and this is terrible because I know he's probably not. I was like, this guy looks like an idiot. That's all. I mean, that's what I remember thinking. I did, however, if you want to know my favorite player of all time, well, we'll go into that. Sean Alexander is my favorite player of all time. However, my favorite UT player, and the reason why is because we had a class together and he was like, we sat next to each other and we would always we'd go back and forth Alabama, Tennessee, but he would, we'd be in the same groups and stuff. He was really, really nice. And that's Jock McClendon.
Jock. Yeah.
Yes. And he was so like he was so nice and so funny, and like I really thought he was the world of him when we had that class. But no, I remember Clausen. I just thought like this guy seems like an idiot. But I mean,
but he's really like he turned around a program that was winning like one game a year, and now they're winning state titles in California. And I don't know how their classifications work, but he really was. He's very intelligent. Now he hated the weight room, and I think he would have had a career in the NFL had he put on a little bit of weight. I had one scout say to me the worst mistake he ever made at that pro day was taking the shirt off, and it wasn't the throws. It was the lack of any pectoral muscles whatsoever.
But look at Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. Like, look at their bodies. I mean, not Tom Brady now.
I agree.
But going in, Mac Jones, same thing. Doughy as all get out. As a quarterback, you don't need to be like huge and like muscular. You should have to swing it.
I think, well, yeah, agreed. But I think it was more from a durability standpoint was the concern. I don't think it was that he wasn't muscular. I think he was just so skinny. To spend 4 years in a college and still be that skinny means that you really, really don't want to put on weight and you don't really care about it. I mean, you've had 4 years. You know, Peyton Manning put on like 15 pounds his first 6 months at UT. But
well, who doesn't?
Fair point. The freshman 10. You can pick up a fantastic freshman 10 at Big Orange Phillies right there in Halls.
How do you do this?
It's amazing.
How do you do
that? Right there in Halls. It's on Maynardville Pike. So if you're in Maynardville, you've got a great place to go to that is family friendly. Fantastic food. If you're listening during lunch, you can grab something cold or you can get something hot. And they're Big Orange Phillies. They're great. They're turning into a North Knoxville tradition, Big Orange Phillies, right there on Maynardville Pike in Halls. So check them out there. This day in sports history coming up here momentarily, and why YouTube first laid its copyright claims against offthehooksports.com, and should we fight it? I vote we should fight it because we were paying tribute.
What was it for?
We were paying tribute to a great president. I'll tell you more after this. Off the Hook Sports. Subscribe and like, please.
It's Gary Viles here, Viles Automotive on Callahan Drive. I've been selling cars here in East Tennessee for 27 years. In that time, I've come to realize it's not about the car. It's about you, the customer. So I'm here to take care of you just like family. Good credit, bad credit, you name it, we can get you taken care of. If we don't have it, we can find it for you. We go across the country to get any vehicle that you want. And here at Viles Automotive, we don't believe in fake numbers. We just give you great deals. And as always, we want, we need, and we appreciate your business.
Do you want to own the more that owns every job? Then get to Vassey Lawn and Garden in Cleveland and get you a Toro. I'm David Vassey, here to talk to you about Toro. With a Toro Zero Turn, you'll get more out of every minute and you'll reach the finish line faster. At Vassey's, we like to say, no matter if you're mowing 3 acres a week or 11 lawns a day, homeowners and business owners alike find confidence in equipment they can trust from top to bottom.
Vassey Lawn and Garden, Highway 60 North in Cleveland.
Man alive, it's worth the drive.
This is Steve Rain. I own the Midnight Oil and Michelin Tire Direct service station here in Ooltewah. It's not a fancy place, never has been, but it's a clean place with clean restrooms and good folks who work here. We sell gas and fix cars, nothing glamorous, but we love what we do and we're going to keep doing it for a long time to come. There's not many real service stations left, and that's a shame. We're the guys just like the guys back in your hometown. We'll fix your tire, change your oil, and put a new set of Michelins on your car. If you want a Twinkie, you'll just have to keep on going. Thanks for the business.
Hi, Mike Davis here with City Heating and Air, reminding you to always dare to compare. Our team provides quality local heating and air service, installation, and maintenance across East Tennessee. We use only the best equipment like American Standard heating and air conditioning for your residential, new construction, or commercial needs. Honesty, dependability, and customer satisfaction have been the cornerstones of our business since 1961. City Heat and Air.
Dare to compare.
All right, so I want to get to this day in sports history. Want to remind you that that's brought to you our friends at City Heating and Air Conditioning. You just heard about them. Go to cityheatandair.com. They're all about integrity with Amanda LaFratta and Ethan Stone. I'm Dave Hooker. And I want to get to this day in sports history. First, though, Amanda has, quite frankly, just been all over me about this programming element. And she has said, if you don't do this, I'm not a part of. By the way, we got the copyright claim was over having Ronald Reagan on the show, which I never would have expected for those that made it through the T's. I appreciate that. But she has told me, she goes, if you don't do this, then I'm out. I'm like, okay, I don't know if it's a good idea, but I'm going to give it a shot. And if you say so. So we will end each show with dad jokes. And they will be dad. Oh my man, it's like, oh my gosh. So the dad joke setup before we get to this day in sports. She is the one, Ethan, that has pushed it on me. It's not me.
Ethan, do you believe that?
Not really, but I'm nodding my head regardless.
Okay.
Am I a dad? No.
So this day in sports history, what do you have for us, Ethan? Because we're not going to play any clips because that one with Bo Jackson hitting a home run got flagged by the Major League Baseball Association. I don't know if it's MLB Players Association or if it's just MLB. I don't know, but they flagged it. So we have 30 days to whether or not we can whether or not we know that we can continue to post that. So we'll see how that all works out. It's our first flag. But anyway, so tell me about this day in sports history, but I'll set it up with this that we'll close the show with. Our dad joke of the day. Why did the football coach go to the bank? Why did the football coach go to the bank? All right, Ethan, this day in sports history, what do you got for us?
Okay. 1987. Weird that we're talking about MLB right now because MLB changed the Rookie of the Year name to the Jackie Robinson.
The Rookie of the Year award?
It was named for Jackie Robinson. Yeah, it was named for Jackie Robinson. Changed it.
That's kind of I got to be honest with you. I didn't realize the Rookie of the Year award was named the Jackie Robinson Award.
Wasn't Jackie Robinson? That's what it says.
I mean, wasn't he real? He was good though before the majors let him in. I mean, I get the I don't know this, but I get the feeling he would have got his crack in the majors way earlier, maybe 2 or 3 years, had it not been for the segregation.
Yeah,
easily. He was a rookie. He was like an older rookie.
Mm-hmm.
It's like one of those rookies that, like a Dirk Nowitzki rookie, he played pro for like 8 years before coming over to the NBA.
It would be like Luka dominating in the Euro leagues for 6 years and then coming and being a rookie in the NBA. Like, I don't know. Okay. There's another one also. Hank Aaron hits his 500th home run in 1968.
You know, one of the things I hate most about Barry Bonds, Amanda, is that Barry Bonds has kind of buried some of these guys. So 500 doesn't sound that incredible anymore. And that's very frustrating. I don't like that at all. So, all right. So why did the football coach go to the bank? Why did the football coach go to the bank? Amanda, do you know the answer to this dad joke?
Why did the football coach go to the bank?
Like and subscribe for more dad jokes.
To deposit dimes. I don't know.
To drop dime. To check his dime coverage. I think I just came up with a pretty good one. Ethan, do you have a guess?
Dime coverage is pretty good, honestly. But no,
to get it. Okay, how about to get his quarterback?
Oh gosh.
I should have known that.
That's gold. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a fantastic day, everyone. For Ethan Stone and Amanda LaFratta, I'm Dave Hooker. Please like and subscribe on YouTube. If you haven't checked out our YouTube channel, I really think you'll like it with current Tennessee players, ball insiders, 9 yards, and a lot of Ethan and Amanda, which we love. I'm Dave Hooker. Have a fantastic day. This has been a production of Off the Hook Sports.